Can a renter put up a campaign sign? Depends on where you live. It's 3 weeks until the election and you've picked your candidate and want to show the world, or at least your neighbors, by putting up a political campaign sign. Your landlord, however, doesn't share your leaning and wants to put up a different sign, or perhaps bar you from putting up a sign at all. What are the rules around election signs in rental units? Elections Canada, per the Canada Elections Act, states property owners do not have the right to prevent tenants from placing a campaign sign on the property they are leasing. Similarly, condo owners may put up election signs on or in their unit, within a set of parameters defined in Section 322. Municipal law concludes a sign can be displayed on private property and fences if the campaign team receives consent from the owner/occupant of the property, but doesn't distinguish between the owner of a property and tenants. Karima Sad, Toronto landlord and tenant lawyer, said it really depends on a number of factors and the law doesn't fully cover essential elements of specific cases. If a tenant is occupying the basement of a house, with their landlord living above them, Sad said there may be an argument for the landlord to deny the tenant's right to erect a sign on their shared lawn. Another option would be for both tenants to place the sign of their choosing on the property if there is enough space to do so. Further, if several tenants share a house and one tenant wishes to place a sign on the front lawn, it may carve into the boundaries of another's comfort zone, voiding the right to place a sign on the rented property. A landlord can ask their tenant to take it down, but only if there is a solid basis for doing so. It's an issue that could be brought to the landlord and tenant board, but not one that Sad said she has seen as of yet. It's not a situation where you would ask for permission. I would say you would go for it, and then if the landlord has an issue, they could raise it with you in the appropriate way, she said, noting that this type of issue may be solved at a tenant-landlord level, rather than bringing it to the board. Carolina Anarego, legal worker for Landlord Self-Help Center, said it may be best for landlords and tenants to both place a sign on the property if they have different political stances and wish to do so. However, if only the tenant is living at the rental unit, they should feel free to allow the sign of the political party of their choice. Issues may also arise when it is a fully tenanted duplex, for example, and both tenants have different party choices. In this case as well, they should both be able to have the sign for the candidate of their choice. The rules for condominiums are the most stringent for tenants. Linda Pinizzato, the founder and president of Condo Owners Association Ontario and a veteran realtor with Sutton Group Quantum Realty Incorporated, told The Star that signs can absolutely not be affixed to balconies, doors, or windows, because they are common elements, which belong to corporations, not condo owners. As a result, tenants could, if they really wanted, to put up a sign in the interior of the home, but cannot put them on anything owned by the corporation. Pinizzato also said she would be very surprised if the corporations who owned the condos allowed any sign on common elements, meaning balconies, windows, exterior doors, or anything else owned by the condo corporation and not the tenant. Pamela Simons, a spokesperson from Re/Max Condos Plus Corp brokerage, agrees with Pinizzato and said that condominiums generally do not allow individual unit holders to put signs on their windows, etc. Although politicians are allowed to canvass the building, the Residential Tenancies Act states that landlords cannot restrict reasonable access to a residence by canvassing municipal, provincial, or federal candidates or their representatives and drop off individual material. The tenants aren't allowed to put any political signage on the windows, Simons said. What happens if the tenants do it anyway? Pamela says the resident of the house would be informed and asked to take it down, after which the owner would be informed as well. It is the renter who is breaking the rules, but also the owner that's responsible for kind of supervising the rules, Simons said. So they would report first to the residents to take it down, and if they didn't, then they would report it to the condominium owner, who would be responsible for enforcing the condo rules.